Welcome to Turn Writing Fair Round podcast. Simple methods to overcome fear and start writing again. I'm Elise Hittinger, and I'm the host for your journey to courage. This is episode 80, Reflections on Your Rides. So in the last podcast, I talked a lot about, remembering your joyous rides. In this one, I really want to reflect back on rides that may have been more challenging. Things may not have gone so well. And the reason for this is when I reflect back on my accident and what happened that day, I saw so many things that could have been done different that would have prevented the accident. And I know it's really hard to look back at stuff like that, but by reflecting on the not so good rides we've had, we can learn a lot. So, as you're looking back, you don't have to go to the really major, not so good rides. But even just looking back at some of the rides when you just felt kind of not so good when you got off, like, wow, that didn't go as planned. And just capture some of the things that happened. Was it your horse was nervous? Were you nervous? Was it you had a horse crow hop? You had a horse buck? You wanted to go left and the horse wanted to go right? Really just write down as many of those things as you can. Because once you know things that have not gone quite so good, you can look at how you could have done those things different. And what happens is that's knowledge. When you have knowledge that you know what you would have done different, your confidence builds because now you see what could be done differently and you can learn what can be done differently and you can practice doing things differently. So you've got knowledge and you've got experience. And once you think about, okay, if I had gone back to that ride that my horse didn't pay attention to me, and if I'd really just spent a little bit more time and gotten him to pay attention to me, let's say that would have been playing with the reins, playing with your feet, moving his feet a little bit, really getting to his mind. What would you have done differently? And once you think about what you would have done differently and what the outcome would have been if you'd just done that right in the beginning, think about how good that would have felt. You would have worked through a challenge. And yeah, that's just one example, but you can do a lot of examples. Look back at all your rides that just didn't go quite as planned. Like the day I fell off in front of Bill Gates. I was so tense that when my horse had to jump really hard because I was going way too slow, I got launched to the moon. Well, okay, I could have relaxed. I could have tensed up my shoulders and then relaxed, and I would have been more relaxed. Maybe not completely relaxed, but I would have been going faster, and I probably wouldn't have gotten launched to the moon. Just think about all those rides, all the little details, and think about what you could have done different. And once you know what you would have done different, it'll really just fill you up with confidence. And once you've got that confidence, you can use that as motivation to go ride. Go play with it. Go see if you can get your horse's attention a little faster. Go see if you can just whatever it is for you. Go play with all those things on your list. Everybody's different. There's no right or wrong. And if you don't have anything, watch some crazy videos on YouTube. Watch before the crazy stuff happens and figure out what you would have done different. Because I can tell you, most of the crazy stuff we see would never have happened if they'd done things a little bit different. I have put together over my 50 years of writing what I call my ultimate writing contingency guide. And that just talks about what I would do in case of a buck, what I would do in case of a bolt, what I would do in case of a rear, and what I would do in case of a spook. I talk a little bit about things that didn't work for me and the things that do work for me. So you can have a head start on looking at what you would change. So I'll put a link below to the contingency guide, and it really is just a summary of what's helped me. See you guys later.